Hey guys, so I'm going to try to make this video really quickly. I don't know if you can hear my toddler, but she woke up on the wrong side of the bed today and she's very grumpy. But don't worry, she's fine. She just wants to be held. Um, last week in writing, we started working on the research for an informational writing piece over a state. So I'm going to kind of briefly remind you of last week's writing assignment that you should have finished because I felt like it was fairly simple. If you have not done that assignment from last week, you need to do that first before you start this one, okay? So the last week assignment kind of looks like this. We chose our topic. We went to this website, ducksters.com. And it gave us a list of all the states and territories in the United States of America. You're welcome to choose a territory as well. I did not say that in my last video, but you are welcome to choose a territory such as Puerto Rico. If you're Puerto Rican, feel free to research the territory that you come from. Although I would like for you to learn about a new place, but if you're more comfortable doing a state that you were born, you are welcome to do that also. Well, here's all the list. I'm going to focus on Texas for this example. I think last time I did Ohio, maybe? I can't remember. And then once you click on your state, there's pretty much everything you need to know about that state that I would like to see in your essay. Do you have to include every single thing on this website in your essay? Absolutely not. But it's up to you to decide what you think your reader will be interested in. Okay. So after we picked our state or territory, we came here and we wrote the name of the state or territory. And then we're going to spend the rest of the week basically finding information on your state. I said you could use the information on Ducksters if you just want things to be simple and streamlined, or you're challenged to with a parent kind of supervising so you don't end up somewhere that's not really reliable. You were challenged to maybe find other information that isn't on the Ducksters website. But you did not have to do that. If you would like to stay on Ducksters, then you are welcome to. That was just a challenge I had to those of you who, me personally, I like researching and finding different information. So for me, that would be interesting to not have to just sit on one website, but to kind of like search for different information. But anyway, let's go back to researching for this refresher of last week's lesson. I did not have very many people turn it in, which is why I'm kind of stopping and talking about it again, just in case someone didn't understand, or to kind of remind you, hey, I need to do this first, because you can't write a paper without researching and finding information, because even though you're really intelligent, you may not know everything, or you may not remember everything accurately. So if you want, stay on Ducksters. If you want, feel free to use other websites. Just make sure that they are reliable and that your parent is watching you as you do your research, okay? The first thing you needed to find in your research was a picture of the state map. And I got this one of Texas from the Ducksters website. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Your state map should be up at the top. So what I did was right click on it and then just copy the image. And then I right clicked again and pasted it on the slide, okay? And I went over that in my last video. So if you're like, well, hold on, she's going too fast, then feel free to watch my last lesson for writing. Then the next step was to find facts and symbols for your state. So I got most of this information from the Duckster's website. In this section right here, where it says Texas state symbols, and then up at the top, it's just like a brief, quick, important information on Texas. So I got the capital and population right here on this section, where it's just a brief overview. And then I got the state symbols down here, okay? So what I would do for my research is just highlight it. We should know how to do this. If not, please let me know. Right click, copy. And then right here, I'm gonna pretend like I haven't done this already. I'm gonna take that away. Then right click again and then paste it there for right now, okay? And some of it may have a different format. That's just basically the computer is copying exactly how it was typed here. So it may be a different font or format than the rest of your slide. Okay, so I have most of that filled out besides how the state got its name. So I'm going to try to find that over here. Oh, right here. The name Texas comes from the Caddo Native American word Tejas, which means friends. So if I was to summarize that, I would say it's a Native American word. It's from the Native American word Tejas, which means friend. So I'm going to come over here because I don't want to copy everything. Plus, that's a full sentence, and we don't want to copy full sentences. You see how the other ones are basically the other answers that I have put here are one or just a few words. Like I have to copy the state slogan because if I changed it, then it wouldn't be the state slogan anymore. I have to copy bluebonnet because that is the state flower. If I changed it and put it in my own words and wrote blondet blue, then it's not the state flower. That's not even a flower. So copy those type of things where it's just a fact. But if it's a longer sentence or a few sentences and you can paraphrase it and put it in your own words, please do that. That way you are not stealing the author's words. So I'm going to write, it comes from the Native American word Tejas. Tejas means friend. Is it friends or friendship? Let me double check because I don't want to. Yes, it means friends. I want to put the wrong thing. Okay. So I don't want to go into great detail about this because it should have already been done, but I just wanted to remind you, make sure you've done this first. Most of this information you should be able to find on Ducksters. If not, and for some strange reason, you can't find any of this stuff on Ducksters, which should not be the case, then please let me know. I'm going to go back to the slide that we'll be focusing on this week. And then we're going to get started there. On slide number 2, there is a hyperlink to another teacher explaining the slides in this presentation and what you need to do. Please watch her video because this particular video is very helpful. And she kind of shows you exactly what's expected of you. I will also, but she may have included something that I left out, or I included something that she left out, so feel free to watch both of us. On this title page right here, this is where you are going to title your essay. If you want, you can even include a picture. Something in her video that she put is she inserted a picture from the web using Google Slides. So I'm going to show you that real quick. You are going to hit Insert, Image, and then you can search the web. And it's going to come up with Google Images. I'm going to type in Texas. Make sure you spell things correctly, because if you type things incorrectly, who knows what will come up for you. So make sure that you are spelling things correctly. Here is, I'm deciding what picture I would like to use. I kind of like this one because it shows you where it's at in America. But I also like this one because it's not only the flag, but also the state as well. Let's see. Not sure what's happening. Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. And once it inserts the picture there, you are welcome to make it larger, but don't cover up your title. You can also include more than one. I'm going to change my title to Texas. And then maybe change it up a little bit. Instead of just writing Texas or your state, maybe add the nickname of the state. So our nickname is the Lone Star State. Why do you think it's called the Lone Star State? Hint, hint, look at the flag. There's only one star. And the interesting thing about Texas, which you may, if you have chosen Texas, hopefully not, because I would love for you to learn about a different state. The interesting thing about Texas is it's one of the only states that fought for its independence without help from the rest of America. So it kind of fought on its own. And I think that's why they call it the Lone Star State, because it got its independence. Texans fought for our independence on their own without any help from the rest of America. So on slide 4, you're going to type in Texas. And then on this particular slide, I want you to go back to your other the other slideshow that you were working on. I had a couple people ask me, I don't know how to get to my drive. Will you please tell me how to get to my drive? And I'm going to do that right now. Especially since you're going to need your research information for this presentation. Basically, what you're going to be doing is taking the information that is in these almost bullet points. You see how it says capital Austin, population 29,200,000, blah, 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 blah. You're taking that information and you will be putting it into sentences. Extremely important. You are taking the information from your research from last week and you are putting that information into a sentence and paragraph form, turning it into an essay, okay? So to get to your Google Drive so that you are able to pull up your research, if you are in the Google Classroom, all you have to do is come over right here where it says Google Apps, and you see how it kind of looks like apps lined up here. Next to it should be your student email right here. If you've uploaded a picture, there will be a picture there. You're going to go right next to it, click that, and then right down here to Drive. Okay, and it may be right up at the top under Quick Access, or you may have to search for it. So mine's right here under Quick Access, so all I would have to do is click right here. But if it's not up at the top, you can just type in Kasson Informational, oh my goodness, writing. Why is it that I can never type when I'm recording? And hopefully, yep, see, it should be right up here. Mine, I have several copies because people will send them to me. So I will have some of the student copies in my drive. But for y'all, you should only have the one, and it'll be right here. And there it is. So for this, I'm going to go back to my original, or the one I'm working on for this week. I'm sorry, I know that's confusing. But basically, the slideshow from last week is going to be your research. And you are going to take that research and put it into paragraph form. So on my All About Texas, I'm going to use some of the information here. So the capital of Texas is Austin. So I want to start off my essay by maybe asking a question. Have you ever been to Austin, Texas? Just to get my reader thinking, have I been to Austin? Have I ever even been to Texas? Okay. Then I will tell my reader that that is the capital. That, oh, I don't want to start my sentence off with that. Because that wouldn't be a complete thought. Let's see. Austin is actually the capital of Texas. And then I want to include my population of Texas. Okay. I'm afraid that I'm going to mess this up. So I don't want to copy it. Let's see. Maybe I'll write it down on a sheet of paper. And then when I type it, it'll be easier to type. Let's see. Maybe some of y'all have a really good memory. Texas is one of the largest states. It's not the largest, I don't believe, but it's one of the largest. I didn't find this in my research. This is just something that I already knew before this project. And I want to include that in my essay because I think it's really interesting that Texas is one of the largest states and has a population of, it was 29 million. Let's go back. 206,000. I have too many. I'm going to exit that one out. 206,000. Let's see. 997. That's a lot of people. Okay, you see what I'm doing here is I'm taking my bullet points from the slide and turning them into complete sentences, okay? Now, I don't want to go over each and every slide for you because I'm sure that would get very long, and I would also like for us to start working on writing independently and turning maybe short facts into longer sentences, okay? So that's really what I will be looking for is, are you able to turn this fact, state slogan, it's like a whole nother country, into a complete sentence? So it needs to, maybe you could say something like, the state slogan is, it's like a whole nother country. And then maybe find out why that's the state slogan and then include that in your sentence. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next slide. Okay, for state symbols, I have some of my symbols on this slide too. The state flower is the bluebonnet. So I'm gonna come back to my slideshow for this week. And then turn that back into a sentence. The Texas state flower is the bluebonnet. And I want to include something maybe that could appeal or maybe connect my reader to my essay. So I'm going to write that during the spring, many Texans will take pictures in the fields of blue found throughout the state. So I would love if you included facts about your state that are from the research that you've found. But I also want you to include maybe some connections. Don't make any facts up, but maybe you chose the state of New York because your favorite athlete is from New York. I want you to include those things that would interest you and your reader and connect your reader to your state. So I know that many of you who have lived in Texas for a while have probably taken pictures in the fields of bluebonnets found in state parks or on the side of the road. So I wanted to include that because I feel like it would appeal to my reader. Let's find another symbol, the mockingbird. So I'm going to go back to my original one, or my slideshow for this week. The state bird is the mockingbird. And then this is, it's a little bit easier for me to include information that I already know about my state instead of sticking to my research because I'm from Texas. However, if you're doing a completely new state that you don't know much about, don't worry and stress yourself out trying to include other facts because you may not know a whole lot. So don't worry about that. I'm just making sure that I connect my reader to my essay so that it's just not a big, long list of facts, but also interesting. The state bird is the mockingbird. The mocking, imitates the sounds made by several other birds. That's just another interesting fact I have about the mockingbird. Okay, I don't want to go through each and every slide, but please know I am here if you need help. Please email me. I know that sometimes informational writing can be scary or intimidating, but basically what I'm looking for is that you are able to take your facts from your research and turn them into sentences for your essay, okay? Just going through the rest of the slides really quick. You need to have a slide about becoming a state. So find all that information you read on Ducksters or another website about how your state became a state or a territory. There's a slide about famous people. So if you chose your state because LeBron James is from that state. This is the slide where you'd include that. People, readers, myself included, love to hear about other famous people. That's just something that um, a lot of people enjoy, is hearing about famous people and where they're from and learning more about these people. So that would be definitely something you want to include in your essay because it would make it more interesting. Then on slide 8, you can include some fun facts, either from Ducksters or another website, anything that you would think your reader would be interested in. And then in your conclusion, I would like for you to maybe ask your reader to visit your state or include some information that you didn't include in the rest of your essay on this slide, okay? And we will focus more on conclusions maybe next week. So your goal for the rest of the week is to turn the facts on this. I didn't fill it out completely, but you should have filled it out completely. Turn the facts from this Google Slides into sentences for your essay, okay? All right, guys, that's the end of my video. I'm sorry if I felt like I rambled a whole lot, so hopefully I did not confuse you. Re Remember, you're going to need both Google Slide presentations up and maybe the Ducksters website. So to make it a little less confusing on yourself, maybe close out all the other tabs that you're not using. That way, you only have like 2 or 3 tabs up at the top of your computer so you know what to kind of bounce back and forth between. I don't want you to get confused. Please, again, let me know if you need any help. I am here for you always. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Please let me know if you need anything.